So, welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Yours truly, Pastor Kevin here. And of course, we are the number one faith based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country, GMAP1.com. We thank you so much for all of your support. And as you can tell, we have a special guest here with us on today. You see her in our television screen, Florenza Lee. Good evening. How are you? God bless you. How you doing?
You know what? I am doing fabulous, because the only thing that matters is right this moment. So in this moment, I am fabulous.
Oh my good. You know what? I already knew that. I just wanted to hear you say it. I just want to be honest with you. I just wanted to hear you say it. And of course, with no further ado, I want you to do me a kind favor. Introduce yourself. Tell our viewers and listeners who you are, where you're from, who is Florenza Lee.
Well, as stated, I am Florenza Lee. I am an award-winning children's book author. I am an international best-selling motivational, inspirational short story author. I have 13 published children's books. I have another four that will be released this year, and hoping to get another four to six out in 2022. Along with being an author, I am a publisher, I am a master storyteller, I am a narrative coach, and I am also an advocate for our nation's veterans. I am married to a retired veteran, Command Sergeant Major Trifas Lee, and we have two phenomenal daughters, Jessica and Melissa. And that
Wow.
about sums it up. Oh,
Wow.
and I'm a Gemini. I have to throw that in.
Ah, you know what, boy, you are something else. I tell you, you are something else. But first and foremost, let me take time out to welcome you to the
Thank
GMAP
you.
Broadcast Network, to the GMAP Broadcast Network family. For those that don't know, of course, Florinda is one of our children's featured authors on the GMAP Broadcast Network. We just want to always encourage you to stop by, take a look at our platform, take a look in our children's featured authors area. And of course, you will see the publications of this young lady posted in our platform. On our platform, you can click on the cover and it'll take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the awesome author as well as the publications that she has released. And of course, we do require your support. Now, let's talk about you as a children's author and what you have dived into. How did it all begin for you? What was the root foundation? Where did it start?
People ask this story, and I always hesitate before answering, not because it's not the truth, but because it just sounds like it's such a lie. On January the 31st, 2014, it was a Saturday. I woke up like any other Saturday, intended to do not a whole lot outside of cleaning and some things. And within an hour and a half, I wrote what would become 12 children's books. And seeing what I had written, I realized that God had given me this phenomenal gift and that I had to do something. So I did like this really quick research on the process of submitting your books to a publisher. And I just kind of didn't like what I read in terms of how long it would be before you hear back. And I thought, you know what? I don't think that God would have given me so many books in such a short time for me to have to wait like years. And so I did another quick search on how to form your own publishing company. Words to Ponder Publishing LLC became in existence that day. And you know what? I don't know what I thought God was going to do, but I bought 1,000 ISBNs because I felt like if God gave me 12 books in an hour and a half, I was quickly doing the math. And I just thought I was going to pump out 1,000 before the night was over. So,
Wow.
but
My
that's really
goodness.
how it started. And
Wow.
of those original 12, three are part of my catalog right now. That night, I went to sleep feeling rather accomplished. And then I had a dream of a book that the Tale of Max the Mindless Dog, a children's book on mindfulness, which is now available in 31 countries.
Wow.
And so You know, I think in the short answer is I was obedient. I was obedient to the pumping of the well. Um, and then he realized that he could trust me with more. So
Wow.
I was
Oh
obedient.
my goodness! I tell you, you know what? You were obedient, and I, I'm just excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for us. I'm excited for our viewers and listeners around the world. If you don't know, I tell you, you need to make sure you show your love, care, concern, and support to this awesome, awesome young lady, this author. And of course, you know what? We are going to really break down just a few of these publications. So you,
Okay.
of course, will be available to share with us, and of course, we want our viewers and listeners
Got
to
some
you
technical
know.
difficulties. I'm sorry.
Oh, nah, you are so funny. I tell you, you are funny. Of course, you know what? I'm going to start off because I'm going to put this book cover on our television screen. Mind Your Manners, Mia. Which one is it?
Mia.
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 Okay. Now, normally I would think it would be M-E, but that's
Yep.
just me. Mind
Yep.
Your Manners, Mia. You know what? Tell us a little bit about that publication, if you don't mind.
Mind your manners, Mia. I know. You know what? I am so in love with this book. So my books come to me um, almost like just these pregnant thoughts, and I can be doing anything, and all of a sudden I will get this thought, and I've got to rush to find pen and paper because I longhand everything. And I was outside with my husband doing like nothing. I think we were doing yard work, and all of a sudden this book came to my mind about children understanding manners and understanding proper manners. And it just seemed that that element of childhood was missing. And this beautiful little book came to me. My FX and Color studio, led by Kustov, he did a phenomenal job capturing the whimsicalness of it. I wanted it to be fun. I didn't want children to feel like I was preaching at them. I wanted parents to be able to use this as dialogue to let the child correct Mia's habits and, in essence, reinforce theirs. We didn't assume that even parents today know what good habits are. And so at the back of the book, there is an answer key. And for those of you that have gray hair like this, you remember books where you had the answers in the back. Well, this is a throwback to the books where you have the answers in the back. So even if you don't know the right answer, just go to the back of the book. They're there.
I tell you, I tell you, you know what? You are something else. And of course, I once again want to thank you, number one, for being here with us today. We thank God for that. We also thank God that you accepted the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. And of course, number three, we thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of your journey. Now, as you can tell, we have Brooklyn Beaver almost bills, almost. Now, you know what? Almost bills today. I gotta ask. You know what? Just run it down to us. Tell us a little bit about that particular publication.
Listen, this book, I don't even know how. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Look at these illustrations. I'm just showing off because this is Eduardo Page, and he's new to my team. We actually just brought him on board for this project, and he and I are doing two more projects right now. This book came to me in an instant, and when I first wrote it, it had a different ending. And so the premise of the book is Brooklyn and her brother are building a dam, and Brooklyn is tasked with going out to get supplies while her brother Bryson stays behind and chomps down logs. Well, in her journey, she is met with three other animals, insects in the forest, and they then ask her for things from out of her barrel. When she reaches the site for the dam, she realizes that she doesn't have the supplies that she had once gathered. And when I first wrote the book, I wrote that Brooklyn sat down and cried, and the other animals heard her, and they brought the things back, and everybody lived happily ever after. And then I thought, why is it that girls have to cry to get something? And it was like, no, Brooklyn, get up and go get your stuff. You gave it away. You needed it. Now you need to use your big girl words and go ask for it back. And in the premise of the book, in hearing, I believe, God in how to end the book, she ends up having greater than what she would have had she not given away those things. And so that's why if you look at the book online, it says the law of reciprocity, because I want children to understand there is a power in using our words. There is a power we can give, but if you give away all of your gifts, then you're left with nothing. And as adults, especially Christian adults, and this is specific to the believers, we can give, but then we end up empty handed and we wonder why God has forsaken us. And it's not that he's forsaken us, it's that we've given away our seed. And so you have to plant your seed and you can share your fruit, which inside your fruit are other seeds. And so that's just helping children to understand that we can't just always give. And if we make a mistake, we can use our words to correct our mistakes. So that's Brooklyn Beaver almost builds a dam.
Wow. Whew. And I tell you,
I
boy,
know, right?
yeah,
But
yeah,
people
yeah.
think children's books are easy things, right? You think, oh, yeah, it's just like, ABC, but they are packed with knowledge.
I tell you, I want you to make sure you send me that illustrator's information. I tell
I
you,
will.
he's an outstanding person, and I have a project for him. I believe that he is going to really enjoy it. Quickly said, I'm working on a children's publication that I am about to make a kind of like a story, a video entourage of uh, Christmas publications that gets released during the holiday. Kind of like Santa Claus is coming to town, all that good stuff. I'll tell you more about that later, but continually going with what we have discussed so far, and you as an author in these children's publications, Adventurous Olivia's Alphabet Quest. I'm going to ask. Tell us about it.
Now, we're just going to go ahead and bring up both the alphabet quest and the calm quest. And in 2 weeks, the numerical quest will be available. Well, give us 4 weeks because we're kind of like up in our game. When you get started, you do well.
Ah,
But then when you realize what you should be doing, you kind of up your game. Olivia is actually a real child. She is my best friend's daughter. And I was present when she was born, and he was like, They say whoever that baby sees for the first time, that they're going to have attributes like it. And he was like, no, not you. But Olivia is so curious. She is so curious. She is everything phenomenal about being a child. And I had always told her mom and dad and her grandmother that if ever I wrote a book, and this was way before I started writing, I said, if ever I write a book, I'm going to write a whole series on Olivia because she is phenomenal. Well, that's how the series starts. I want to encourage children to be curious. I want children to get off the tablets and to get out and explore their world and just be children and realize that life is so much fun. All of my books are engaging. And so, even though I'm telling you the story behind it, as you're reading them to your children, they actually have to do something, say something, spot something, find something, something is going to take place. They have to repeat something. It's not just a story time, it is an experience. And so when you're listening to your child read, it's an opportunity for you to stop and look for things on the pages. The alphabet quest is an I Spy game. And so hidden on each page of that letter of the alphabet are other items that begin with the letter of the alphabet. And so even if your child isn't reading yet, you can point to different things on the page and say, oh, where's the hamburger? Where's the hairbrush? Where's the helicopter? Where is the hamster? And they're hearing that sound repeated over and over again.
oh my, that you know
So
what?
that's the Olivia.
That is an outstanding concept.
Yes.
I tell you, it is. It's an outstanding concept. I see great, great things taking place in the future with more and more children and parents and even grandparents getting involved with getting copies of these publications and sharing them with their grandchildren, with their children. That's an outstanding concept. And I know that there's going to be many people that's going to want to reach out and show their love, care, concern, and support and purchase a copy of not one, two, but all of your publications. What is the process for them to do so? Where can your books be purchased?
You are able to go to Florenza.org. My books are also available, of course, on Amazon. They're available at Walmart.com, Target.com. You're able to get them at Barnes and Noble. You're able to get them at Books a Million. Guys, I feel like I'm Vanna White, make that Vanna Brown. You're able to get them at most indie bookstores, depending on the city where you live. They're everywhere, but if in doubt, just go to Amazon, plug in Florenza Lee, or go to Florenza.org, and my entire catalog is there as well.
Mm. And of course, we cannot allow anyone to forget about little old GMAP Broadcast Network down here in the lower left hand corner of everything in small print. You can easily stop by our platform, click on any of the book covers that you have seen, and it will take you to the necessary location to show your love, care, concern, and support, and of course, purchase any or all of these publications. We encourage you to do so, and I know for a fact there's going to be some individuals out there that want to reach out and touch base with you, maybe talk to you and get some words of encouragement and inspiration from you. What would be that process? How can you be reached?
Yeah, if you have Sociotap, or if you know Sociotap, it's Sociotap /Florenza. That will take you to my link tree, and you're able just to tap your heart away. If you don't, if you're not familiar with Sociotap, then you may go to Florenza.org. That has all of my information. I am on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram. I am on TikTok, but I've not yet used it, so don't go there looking for me. I am also on Pinterest. You may find me there. Pretty much anywhere social media, you may find me, Florenza Lee. And that's my phone number. It'll actually ring to my cell phone. That's it. So I'm more of a texter, though. So if you call, I might not answer, but text me. I'll answer.
She said I'm more of a texter. Oh my goodness. I heard that. My daughter said that to me one day, and I said, "What is a texter?" Oh my goodness, a texter. But you know what? I can't even attempt, even think about letting you get away without breaking down not just your children's publication, but the other publication that has encouraged me. Purpose. You know what? Purpose, and I'm sure people are going to want to, hear a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, what does that book consist of?
Wow. We can do an entire show just on this book. So I was asked by Nalena Kai, who is USA Today and Essence Magazine bestselling author. She is a star in her own right. Like, she's absolutely phenomenal. Well, she has a literary tribe called the NK Tribe, called Success. And I was just very fortunate to get in on the second to the last group that formed. And one of the things that God had challenged her with was to create a series of books that were centered around not just biblical truth, but also to incorporate the author's personal testimony. And I am not going to lie, this was very difficult to do, not because it took me away from children's books, but because it required that I share testimony. And my belief in things that I've given to Christ is that I took it literal, that those things that I place at the foot of the cross are as far as the east is from the west. I don't know how to make those two areas meet up. And so when she asked that we share testimony in here, that was difficult for me, because these are things that I laid at the foot of the cross. These are things that when I got up redeemed, I never went back to even think about, let alone break out a computer and type about it. But the first part of the book is a retelling of a biblical story that most people are familiar with, but a very not so known story. And I went into prayer. I really just laid before God and I said, God, what do you want me to share? And I felt that my story to share was the woman who anointed Jesus's feet with the oil contained in her alabaster box. Oftentimes people confuse her with Mary, who anointed his head, but in fact, she was not. And so I did, ask about what would be her story? What would bring this woman to the point that she would be at the foot of the cross, giving her everything, pouring out her life savings, her future on the feet of Jesus? And so I believe that I captured a plausible reason for why she would have done that. And then I married that into my own testimony. I start off sharing my testimony as being a suicide survivor. And I also incorporate that into sharing what brought me to the foot of the cross and sharing a time in which I was physically lost. I was lost in a wooded area and I was 8 months pregnant and I was going to die. I had been lost for hours and hours and hours in this area. And God sent the most miraculous thing. It was actually an animal to lead me out of that forest and to take me to the exact location where I needed to be. There are 9 books in this series. This is called the Mary Hearts series. You can get all 9 books for under $20 if you like to read ebooks. And then we are soon to publish the Grateful Hearts, which is another 9. And then there will be another 9 following that. So listen, the children's books are phenomenal and they are really good and they're going to bless your child. I do have Christian books as well. Chapter books for your 2nd grade through 6th graders. We didn't talk too much about those, but I do have one that's a children's book, as a book of faith, unapologetically, a book of faith. And then I have one that deals with social issues such as homelessness and the loss of a parent. Phenomenal books.
Wow.
So that's those.
Wow. Well, I can already tell you, as well as letting our viewers and listeners know, we're definitely going to be inviting you back to break down more of the publications that you have available for all people, all of our viewers, children as well as adults. We're definitely going to have you back and just discuss more in detail about some of the publications that are out there for the people. I'm just excited for you, and I'm thanking you once again for everything, being here, being a part of our family, allowing us to be a part of your journey. And of course, this conversation is definitely going to be a conversation that we place on our YouTube channel, Facebook. We're going to air it on our weekly Comcast program. A few radio stations are going to do us the favor of letting people know that you're out there doing what you have been blessed to do, and we're just excited for you. Before I let you go, I want to do this. I'm going to move over for a second, and before I do that, as well as I do, Florenza, that no matter what, we are a role model to someone, whether we like it or not. Someone is always paying attention and watching our steps and, watching our every move as we take our journey. And there could be someone out there right now saying to themselves, I really want to dive in and get involved and begin my journey the way Florenza has began and started her journey. What words of encouragement would you have to share with someone like that today?
Simple. Don't be so fast to see your name on a cover of the book that you don't put in the due time and the diligence to make sure that there's excellence contained in the book. I talked to you about Brooklyn Beaver. It took a year for that illustrator to get those illustrations just right. And not just for the time, but also the finances for me to produce my books. I pay my illustrators a phenomenal amount of money to ensure that when you purchase my books, you cannot tell the difference between them and one that's traditionally published. Just because I'm independently published does not mean that you're getting sub-quality work. And as an independent author, you've got to realize that it's more important to ensure that you're creating a product of excellence than it is just to be able to brag and say that you're an author. This is a phenomenal world. I treat my authorship like it's a business. I came out the gate treating it like a business. Everything from logos to my website to forming an actual business. I pay taxes. Um, you've got to decide if you're coming into this as a business, start treating it like a business from day one. If you're coming in and you say, you know what, Florenza, I hear you, but I don't need all that. I just want to write a book so I can check that off my bucket list. That's wonderful. Know what's required to do that so that you're not investing money that would lead it to become a business when your intent is not to make it a business. My coaching clients, I ask them going in, what is it that you want the book to do for you? I have clients that the book strictly is like a business card. They give them away for free. So they create it in such a way that they are able to give it away for free. If it's something that you want longevity and you want it to make money for you while you sleep, my books make money for me while I'm sleeping. Um, you have to create them to do that. So just know what it is that you want the book to do, and then begin your research by paying attention to people that have already done it and ask questions about their journey. There are no shortcuts. Um, we all have played baseball or street ball or whatever. You can run around and get to home base, but if you skip 1 and 3, buddy, you're out. And so it's the same way in the literary world. You have to touch those bases in order for it to be successful. And all of it, have fun, and all of it, just pray your way through and then talk to people like myself who have already gone through the process.
That's true. Make sure you got quality resources and you're connected with the right people. And boy, oh boy, we know for a fact that your journey will be an excellent one. We thank
Yes.
God for you, Florinda. We thank God for what you're doing and what you're going to do. And I tell you, I could easily ask you what's next, but you know what? You've already answered that question. So we're simply going to say thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
time out of your busy schedule on today. And again, I'm going to let you know we are going to be inviting you back real soon to talk more in detail about additional publications and things of that nature that you have available. We appreciate you and what you're doing. And thank you so much for taking time to be with us tonight. We look forward to
Thank you.
talking with you again soon. Until next time, we want you to continue to be blessed and be a blessing to others. You have an outstanding rest of your evening, and we look forward to talking with you again soon. Okay?
All right.